we'll explore that future in just a few moments. And we'll find out what that special delivery that she mentioned is all about. And we're also going to take a quick look at 2012. But before we get started, I want to take just a second to introduce two important leaders of Hyundai who are here with us today. First, I'd like to introduce my good friend, our Chief Executive Coordinator at Hyundai Motor America, Mr. B.H. Lee. We also have a very special guest with us today. He's the new Global Design Leader for Hyundai Motor Group, and he'll be responsible for both Hyundai and Kia designs. You may know Mr. Peter Schreier. Peter? All right, so let's get started. Just want to give you a few words about our recent performance. If you're with us at the LA Auto Show, we talked then about our plan to hit a new high water mark for our sales, hitting over 700,000 units in just 1 year. And we did that last year. We sold 703,007 cars, to be precise, which was an all-time record for us. I'll tell you, more important than the quantity of sales, though, was how we did it. And we did it with the lowest incentive spend in the entire industry. According to Auto Data, we spent just $946 per car on incentives in 2012. We also continued to hold down our fleet sales. We ended up the year with just a 10% fleet mix, which is about half of the industry average. Now, what drove that success was a great network of Hyundai dealers working really hard to delight our customers, and a collection of products that have done pretty well in the market in terms of catching people's attention. In fact, last year, we had 5 different models that broke sales records. Leading the pack were Sonata and Elantra. And actually, we're most proud of these two. This is the first time we've had 2 cars over 200,000 units of sales in the same year. And both of those cars had very, very low fleet mixes, much lower than segment averages. Veloster, really its first full year, so not a surprise that it beat its record sales or achieved record sales. But more importantly, it beat our expectations. The car has really found a niche in the marketplace, and we're delighted about that. But I'll tell you, here's the really big surprise, and it's sort of the theme of our show today, is how well we've done with our premium products. Both of our premium models, Genesis and Equus, set all-time sales records in 2012. Genesis and Equus have a 9% share in the premium segments in which they compete. That's better than our overall industry share. We're about a 5.3% retail share for Hyundai as the industry as a whole. That's pretty good. And it shows that we are attracting a different demo than you might have otherwise expected for the Hyundai brand. And we're doing it in pretty interesting fashion. Both Equus and Genesis have proven their worth in terms of residual value, and I think you might also find this surprising. After 36 months, 2013 Genesis is projected to retain more of its original value than every competitor in its class, except for the Audi A6, a great product. That's according to ALG. And Equus has a similar story. It's got higher residual values than all of its European competitors. It's got a better residual value than Mercedes-Benz S-Class, BMW 7 Series, and Audi A8. The Equus. It's second only to the Lexus LS. Now that's what we mean when we talk about the transformation of the Hyundai brand from a value brand, which is what most of you guys are thinking, I think, to a valuable brand. We're on the way with that transformation. And I'll tell you, we didn't achieve that success by the usual path either. In fact, here's something we actually said back in 2010 when we were getting ready to launch Equus. You can find this on the back pages of Edmunds.com. Before we launched Equus, we wrote about our belief that premium customers were hungry for a smarter option. It also led us to offer what we call at your service valet pickup for vehicle maintenance. So we have a great free maintenance plan on Equus. What's different about ours, though, is that you don't have to go to the dealership to activate it. We'll come to your home, we'll come to your business, pick up your car, give you a Genesis or Equus loaner car, and your maintenance or your warranty work is all taken care of. So far, about half of Equus owners have already taken advantage of that service. Oh, by the way, these customers, these Equus and Genesis buyers, are folks who can afford the best. In fact, if you just look at average incomes, for Genesis, median household income level is an impressive $118,000. And for Equus, it's $177,000. They simply believe they've found the best at Hyundai. And we've been racking up some awards that sort of demonstrate that we're delivering on that promise, at least from their point of view. For example, Equus owners have given it the highest CSI ranking of any car in the premium luxury segment. That's an indication of their satisfaction with the retail experience. Now think about that. We're delivering that through our Hyundai network. These same owners have also judged Equus the most appealing premium luxury car in the entire industry, according to last year's J.D. Power Appeal Survey. So a car like Equus is delivering the industry's best retail experience through the Hyundai network, and the customers who are driving the car love the hardware enough to call it the most appealing premium luxury car in the segment. It's pretty cool. Now, a few years ago, people were skeptical about this unique approach to premium, both from a retail standpoint and a product standpoint. But I'll tell you, these results prove that it's working okay. Now, we believe it's time to once again defy convention and delight our premium customers. And that's what this event here is all about. Now, you've all seen how we've consistently elevated the Hyundai brand with every new product launch from a design standpoint. It began most recently with Tucson, followed by Sonata, then came Elantra, our new Accent, the beautiful Azera, and just recently the all-new Santa Fe. We've completely transformed the Hyundai lineup from a design standpoint. So now I'm asking you to imagine an equally bold transformation in our premium lineup. That's what we're here today. So we're going to open that window just a little bit and give you a look of the future as we see it in the early creative stages for a concept car. But I want to make one thing really clear to you guys. What you're about to see, what's under this drape, is not the next generation Genesis sedan. We're going to be showing you the production version of that car next year, right here. This isn't that car. It's really the spiritual guide for a future lineup of premium products. It explores new thinking about product design and new possibilities for effortless interaction between man and machine. So with that, let's get ready for the arrival of the HCD-14 Genesis concept.
I'm inside.
Okay. Let's do a quick system check. Are all panels lit up?
Everything appears to be on.
Okay, let's step through them. Center display.
Center display. Check.
Driver's display.
Driver's display. Check.
Passengers display.
Passengers display. Check.
Heads-up display.
Heads-up display. Check.
Let's take a look at the eye tracking. Test the HUD response.
Tracking and HUD response is affirmative.
Okay, go to the radio.
Radio selected.
Check the hand tracking. Choose a station.
Channel selection is affirmative.
Okay, let's try the volume.
Volume. Affirmative.
Okay, let's try the navigation.
Can't believe how easy this is. All systems, go.
Let's show what we got.
Hyundai Chief Designer Chris Chapman. Great. Please sign right here, sir. And date here. Initials.
Okay, thank you very much.
And here, Mr. Chapman.
All right.
And I'm gonna go ahead and need your thumbprint right here.
All right,
Great.
thank you.
She's all yours.
Phew. I'm gonna bring my wallet out next time. Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Chris Chapman and I'm very proud to be leading the Hyundai design team here in North America. The car you see here, the Hyundai Genesis HCD-14, is a premium four-door coupe concept designed with a big idea in mind. Now when you think about the relationship most folks have with their cars, well, it's really become another transaction in their lives, right? We have a tendency to move from one car to the next with no sense of ownership or no love lost. Well, we at Hyundai are out to change that. Everything about this car, the HCD-14, was designed to instill a deeper connection. We hit on this idea of making a car that looked beautifully dangerous, a car with some intrigue. It begins with classic and very desirable rear-wheel drive proportions. This means a long hood, a long wheelbase, very low-slung car, and it's got a bit of peppered attitude into it from the design team, like a cat with its ears pinned back. And like a handmade suit, it's tailored and slimming while being muscular and flattering in all the right places. Now, another major theme for this car was this notion of effortlessness, and it applies to the technology inside and the shape that you see outside. The car is not trying to punish the wind. It rather slips through it with beautifully stretched panels of what I would call undisturbed sheet metal. The details as well around the car, inside and out, are meant to be executed with equal restraint, allowing the surface drama and sculpture to live, breathe, and just be, all right? So we're talking about simplicity here. Moving to the front of the car, it announces its presence with a grille that is upright without being uptight, premium without having to shout it out. The beveled headlight structure gives an alert and ready expression, and the corner air intakes have functioning aero fins that incorporate the fog lamps and help cool the brakes. Now, as we move to the rear of the vehicle, you'll see some of the same themes applied that you saw in the front, the beveled tail lamps, the exhaust surround, and then it's finished off with this razor sharp deck lid edge that I feel says goodbye to the wind in effortless fashion. Underpinning it all, you see this stainless steel, this lovely stainless steel trim piece, and it's this finishing touch, we would say, that you would be analogous to the casing on a fine timepiece. Really, really wonderful. It's like you put all the precision parts inside the watch, and then that watchmaker would simply click it together, and that's what you get. Now, as you see the car rotate around, you get a feeling for the interior. It's dramatically sculpted without the sense of busyness of overloaded and over-designed controls and buttons typically found in today's premium sedans. We've milled multiple layers of laminated wood, and it gives this really interesting topographical map effect. It really invites you to explore the surfaces with your eyes and your hands. Now, in today's information-filled vehicles, a lot of us are thinking about that human-machine interface, which sounds kind of techie. So we began in a different place. We started looking at good old human interaction. Now, when you and I sit down for a cup of coffee, we don't use buttons or touch screens to communicate. We use our voices, our hands, our eyes, and we do it without even thinking. We believe there's something really natural about doing something very much like that to talk to the car. By combining eye and gesture controls with heads-up display, you can adjust the temperature, choose music from the Lexicon audio system, or make phone calls, all quite literally without leaving your eyes off the road or your hands off the wheel. The effect is a natural and at-one feeling with the car. Now for us, the HCD-14 is the embodiment of our brand vision. Defy, design, and delight. This is the spirit we're going to infuse into the next generation of Hyundai's premium lineup, and we can hardly wait. Thank you so much.
So we think the HCD-14 Genesis is groundbreaking in so many ways. I know you've probably got some questions that might have occurred to you about this car, so let me hit them right now. What about the eye tracking and hand gesture controls? Are we really going to do that? Well, I'll tell you, they are fully functional in this concept car, and they are also very consistent with our DNA at Hyundai. Hyundai products typically receive very high marks for the user interface, ergonomics, and ease of use. And we're looking at a number of ways to stretch that thinking, including the ideas right here in that concept car. Probably wondering what's under the hood. Well, it's got our tried and true direct injected 5-liter Tau V8. That's 429 horsepower. And again, that final question that I know you're thinking, is this a thinly disguised Genesis sedan? And the answer again, and I'm saying this twice because it's really important, it's really not. It's not the next gen Genesis that we'll show you next year. It's, again, a guiding light for a whole portfolio of premium products that we have coming. And you're going to see that influence of HCD-14 in future premium and Genesis products, with an even stronger dose of HCD-14 coming in another premium model that's just a bit further down the line than what we'll be showing you next year. You're also going to see much greater divergence between our premium products and our mass market products. So for all those reasons, this is a really important concept car for us. And that's why we brought it to Detroit. We would love to hear what you guys think about it. We also have one more thing, one more announcement. And I got to tell you, it's so hard in this industry to keep a secret. And I know you guys have experienced this many times just at this show. It's almost impossible to hold new news to the time of the show. In fact, even for this show, even with this car, the embargo was broken a couple of hours before showtime and pictures were out, much to our chagrin and disappointment. But we do have what we believe to be fresh new news for you guys today. Now at Hyundai, and for a lot of you guys I know, rear-wheel drive performance is essential in a true premium car, right? There's no substitute for rear-wheel drive. Now last summer, Reese Millen proved that very point by setting an all-time, anytime, no car has ever been faster up Pikes Peak than our Genesis Coupe in his hands. It has the all-time record of all classes. Well, I'm pleased to tell you that today, we're announcing today, that next summer, this year, Hyundai and Reese are going to be back together again, and he's going to be defending that title in a newly developed, purpose-built, to break the record one more time, rear-wheel drive Genesis Coupe. Now we wish Reese and his team the very best as they take Hyundai performance to a whole nother level and provide future inspiration for the premium products in our future. I think it shows that we're really interested and totally motivated to inject a lot of performance into our premium cars. Now I'll tell you what, let's take a moment or so to allow the media here to take some pictures of the HCD-14 Genesis concept. I want to thank all you guys for joining us.